Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Raised by Yandere Rossweisse movie. Before we start, please go support Alejandro130620 for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. Rossweisse is the older sister of Issei Hyoudou, who is her greatest pride after her parents died in an accident, so Rossweisse was left with the trauma where she became obsessed with Issei to the point that she would not leave him alone, and would not socialize with girls since she thinks she will lose him, or that someone will take him away, but she is also very affectionate, and will not hesitate to kill anyone to have her Issei. Note, here Rossweisse will be called Ross and Rose by people who know her personally, so don't get confused. Now, Chapter 1 I Do It For You. POV. In the beautiful streets of Quest City it was a perfect day for anyone, the shops opening and people passing by. But we focused on a peculiar apartment. A silver-haired girl, and next to her there was a brown-haired boy with honey-colored eyes, about 13 years old, who was sleeping soundly while the silver-haired girl looked at him. POV Rose. It's been 5 years since my Issei and I moved after losing Issei's parents, who died in an accident where Issei was sad and alone that day. At his school he was going to declare his love to a girl he liked, but when he came back he was crying that day and told me that she rejected him and made fun of his feelings. Since that day I swore that I was not going to allow anyone to mistreat my brother. After that I was possessive and affectionate with him so that he would never suffer, but there are many hitches who want to take away what is mine. Fine, please, Rose. Issei-kun is already awake. Issei zzzzz. Rose, Issei, we have to go to the academy. Our new day at the academy. Issei, 5 more minutes. Rose, okay, if you don't get up, you'll be punished for a month without your sleeves. Issei woke up with a start, waving his hands. Issei, no, please, One-chan, anything but that, I'll do whatever. Rose, whatever, with a perverted smile. Issei, One-chan, why is your nose bleeding? Rose, it's nothing, so let's change. Issei, good. After that, Rose took off her shirt, leaving her in her purple lingerie that highlighted her body. Issei didn't mind seeing her like that since it was normal for him, but for Rose it made her blush since she always undressed in front of him, and she always wanted to have Issei tied up and make love to him at her best. After that, Rose and Issei had breakfast and then went to the academy together. Rose, Issei, how do you feel when you're with Migo? She said it with a blush. Issei, I feel happy, One-chan, you are the only one who loves you and you have always been with Migo. Those words made Rose blush, but something else was happening in her mind. Rose's mind. Yes, it is Issei, you are mine from now on. Any hitch who wants to take you away from me, I will make her pay for taking away what is mine. These were the thoughts of the silver-haired girl. After that, the normal hard path to the main entrance of the academy, where the girls looked at Issei with hearts and thought about how adorable he was. But that made the silver-haired girl furious, and she wanted to kill him. After that they proceeded to go to their room 2B, where they introduced themselves. Rose, I'm Rossweisse Hyoudou. I'll be your new teacher. It's a pleasure. Issei, hello, I'm Issei Hyoudou. I hope we get along well. Rose, do you have any questions for Issei? Girl 1, Issei, do you have a girlfriend? Rose, what was your name? I wanted to know. Lisa, I am Lisa-sensei. Why are you asking? Rose, or just to kill you, damn hitch. Preserve you and scratch your fingers one by one, take it easy. Lisa, okay. Rose, any other questions? Girl 2, Issei, you are a virgin. Issei, with a blush, why are you asking that? Girl 2, out of curiosity. Issei, if I'm still a virgin. Rose, and may I know why you asked the question, angrily, and what your name is? Keites, it's Keites-sensei. Rose, okay, enough with questions and let's talk about the classes. Classes went on normally for Rose. It was something else, and she is marking the names of the 2 girls who signed her death warrant. Pink mind. How dare they, how dare they? They must die, those hitches. He is mine, but the good thing is that I managed to get his address, to talk and get along very well. After that, during recess, Issei was waiting outside for Rose to have lunch together, but suddenly he heard a voice he didn't think he would hear. Issei-kun, is it you? She turned and brought a long, silky crimson hair that made him nervous and scared. Issei, Rias-senpai, shyness. Rias, it's been a while. Issei, you look adorable. Issei, what do you see offer? Rias, you are a kagwai when you get like that. Rias, oh Issei, so cute with always time. If you will be mine. After that day that you never came back at school, I felt alone without you. Now that I have you close, I will not let you go, my love. Rias, wouldn't you like to come with me? Go to buck you hard, have lunch? Issei, she's crazy. No thanks, I'm going to go with my sister to lunch. Rose, Issei, thanks for. I can't finish why a certain redhead spoke. Rias, come on Issei, don't be shy. Issei, one-chan, you took a long time. Rose, sorry, there was a lot of paperwork and can you tell who, she's a damn hitch, your friend is? Rias, hello, I'm Rias Gremory, it's a pleasure to see you, Rose-san. Rose. TCH, I thought she left the country, it wasn't enough for her to break Issei's heart. The pleasure is mine, Rias-san, if you don't mind I'm going to have lunch with my brother, so bye. Mind of estuaries. Damn, I should have known that that beautiful girl of yours would come. Now what do I do to stay with Issei permanently? Elsewhere, Rose and Issei were having lunch together in a tree where Issei was on her lap and his head was on her breasts, where Issei was eating peacefully while Rose was hugging him. Rose. Issei, are you comfortable? Issei. Yes, one-chan, you are the best. Rose. All for me, dear Issei. While the boys cursed Issei for being close to the teacher and leaning on her breasts, but also a certain redhead was jealous to see her eyes see, she would dedicate herself to being in Rose's place. Rias, damn, I swear I'll be the one with Issei. So the hours passed until the exit where Rose and Issei Ivan were calm, where Rose was happy with his brother until, excuse me, are you Hayate Issei? Issei turned around and saw a black-haired girl with violet eyes wearing another school's uniform. Issei, if it's me, who are you? Yuma. I'm Yuma Amano and you're dating someone. Issei-en. I'm not finishing because I'm talking to you. Rose. If he is dating Migo, then I will see fifth-rate actress. After that, Rose took Issei by the hand and they left. Yuma was upset for not getting what she wanted. Yuma, damn, I swear he'll be mine and we'll do it until he's dry, ha ha ha. Department. Issei was sitting in the living room doing his homework while Rose looked at him. Rose, yes. Issei, one-chan, why did you call her a fifth-rate actress? Rose. Issei, I just wanted to play with Taigo. Surely she would have done something bad to you. And as your older sister I have to take care of the person we love no matter what. Issei, one-chan, you love me very much? Rose. Oh Issei, of course I love you. I will never love someone like you, Issei. Issei, then I love you, one-chan. After saying that, she hugs him with love and tenderness. After Asher's task, they proceeded to eat and go to bed. Rose was awake in his secret room where he had Issei's things like photos, figures, and his clothes. Ora Rose was at the desk making some puppets, some of which were figures of Lisa split in half and nailed with a nail. Kates had already cut off her head and had the knife inside. There were two puppets of the bride and groom, one of whom was Issei and was wearing a blanc tuxedo, and a puppet of her in a wedding dress. Rose. Issei accepts Rose as your wife. Rose/Issei does accept loving her, and only being hers. Rose. You accept Issei as yours and nothing, and that no hitch can take him away from you, and that he will be more yours. If I accept that, he will be only mine, and I will kill any hitch. Rose. I pronounce you husband and wife. Then minding the puppets to kiss. Issei. That's how I imagine our life together. The Ilos keep us united and we can't change it. So to be together, I have to get rid of the damn things that don't understand what isn't theirs. Issei, already I'm waiting for the moment when you and I join in body and soul, but more importantly I won't let you see the light of day until I get pregnant. I'll hit you so hard against the wall until I can't anymore. The Ilos united us, and that's our destiny. I'll do this for you, my Issei. Chapter 2. Issei's love and Rose's madness. The next day, Issei and Rose Ivan walking for another day at the academy where Rose was behind Issei putting her breasts on the back of his neck. Issei is red with embarrassment. Rose on the other hand was happy. Issei, one-chan. Rose, yep. Issei, would you mind letting me go? I feel weird. Then Rose would stop and Issei sees Rose with tears in his eyes. Rose, don't you like it? Issei, it's not that, one-chan, it's that. Rose, bad. Issei doesn't love me anymore. Issei, it's okay, you can hug me. And as if by magic he appears behind Issei, hugging him. Issei, I always fall for that, and why Ami? Rose, why do I love you, Issei-kun? Issei, me too. That's how they lasted until the academy where all the boys saw Issei with jealousy and the girls the same, but more a certain red-haired girl. She's jealous for seeing that scene. That's how they lasted until the classroom. Rose, hey guys, today we have a new partner. A brunette girl with an invisible body appears from the door. Hi, I'm Izzy Orimura. I hope we get along well. All the boys would be left with their mouths open, but when Issei saw her he felt something in her breasts that was throbbing. When he saw him he would feel the same, but a certain silver-haired girl would notice that, and that caused her jealousy. Rose, you can have a seat. With a forced smile, Izzy went to a seat next to Issei. Izzy, hi, I'm Izzy, it's a pleasure. Issei, Issei, I'm Issei. Izzy thought, Kagwe I Thai. Then the classes continued normally where Izzy tried to talk to Issei but was interrupted by Rose, who stood in front of Issei and touched her breasts, which bothered Izzy a little. Rose thought, Do you think I'm going to leave my sister with you, Hitch, who thinks she's mine, love, and I won't let you touch her or else I'll take you off, nail by nail, from your feet and hands, and I'll take out your eyes and cut out your tongue? Izzy thought. She thinks she's crazy because she's so attached to Issei-kun. This woman is sick, she probably plays with puppets. I imagine she dreams of marrying Issei-kun. Issei thought, why is this happening to me? Hours later it was time for lunch. Rose was upset because she had to go to the teacher's lounge for a meeting and couldn't be with her little brother. Rose, Issei, I just hope you don't end up with that brown hitch. With Issei. Issei was in his living room alone eating, but he would be interrupted by a certain redhead who came to see his favorite Issei. Rias, oh my cute Issei is alone. Issei, what is offered Rias-senpai? Rias, how sweet you are when you get like that. I just came to have lunch with my school friend. Time that crazy girl is gone. Finally I have my little lamb. Rias sat next to Issei, sticking to him, which made Issei nervous. Rias noticed it, and put her breasts on Brazil, which made Issei even more shy. Rias, what's up Issei-kun? Issei, Rias-senpai, could you move? Rias, don't you like me being with Taigo? In a flirtatious way. Issei, someone help me. But as if it were fate, a certain chestnut appeared. Issei-kun, you're here. Issei, Izzy-cha. Rias, damn, why does this bitch come and ruin it for me? Hi, I'm Rias Gremory, it's a pleasure. Izzy, I'm Izzy Orimura, it's a pleasure. Hey Issei, don't you mind? I'm having lunch with Taigo. Issei, of course. Rias, damn, I was about to buck Issei and this brown-haired bitch arrives. Izzy, why do I say they call me a brown bitch? After that it was quiet for Issei, but a certain brunette and redhead were throwing rays at each other, which scared Issei. After lunch the classes were normal, until the exit where Rose told Issei to go home, that she had something to do. With Rose she was in the backyard of the academy waiting for Katase, as she wanted to vent her anger on something, or rather someone. Katase, I wanted to see you, sensei. Rose, Katase-san, you like Issei? Katase blushed. That's why I like him since I saw him. Rose, and you tell me Arias whatever it is for him. Katase, yes, I would do anything. Rose, then he dies. After saying that he stabbed Katase and continued until he stopped. Rose, oh Katase, you want to take away what's mine. Now there are 3 bitches missing that are in the way. Issei, you and I are together because the Ilos united us. You are mine and you will give me the love that only you have. Ami, Chapter 3, Painful Memory. 2 days had already passed and they had heard the news of Kata's death, something that upset the entire academy. The entire academy was in a state of anxiety. Department store. Rose is in the kitchen making breakfast with a smile from ear to ear since she was able to have a dream with her Issei where she was wearing a very revealing wedding dress and an Issei with a suit that made him look very adorable. Flashback dream of Rose. Issei One-chan. Rose, no, from now on call me my love darling, but you exist more when you call me like that. Issei, please One-chan. Rose, Issei-kun, today you become a man. Issei One-chan, I feel strange. Rose, it's because of the love you feel now. Issei-kun, you will be mine. Issei One-chan. Praise Ice. Issei One-chan. End of dream. Issei One-chan, are you taking the coffee? Rose realized that the coffee spilled on her clothes, so to Issei's embarrassment that he was read into an embarrassed Rose, but it was so that her Issei could see her as a woman. Issei One-chan. Issei couldn't stop looking at Rose with a blush, something that made the silver-haired girl blush. Rose, you like Issei-kun? She approached, putting her breasts in Issei's face, who was embarrassed. Issei-kun, you would never leave me, right? Issei shook his head. I'll never leave you alone, One-chan. You're my family. Rose hugged Issei tighter with tears of happiness because her dream was coming true, or well, almost, since she had 3 people. Rose thinking, I'll just get rid of that red bitch, and that bitch who's easy, but I'll get rid of you first, brown bitch. Elsewhere in an apartment, a brunette is seen getting dressed to go to the academy, but out of nowhere she sneezes. Izzy, why do I feel like someone is calling me a brown bitch? Back with the couple. Rose and Issei had changed to go to the academy. After breakfast they left for there. On the road it was going well until they arrived at the academy, where in front of the entrance there was a charity where everyone looked at it with intrigue. When it opened you could see a black-haired girl with eyes of the same color and a killer body. The girl looked everywhere as if she was looking for someone until she found the person she wanted. Oni-chan, I finally found you. After so long I finally found you. 5 minutes later. The classes had been compensated. I was giving the normal class until they knocked on the door, seeing the girl from this morning. Good morning, sensei. I'm the new exchange student. Rose, I see. Wait a moment. Why that girl looks familiar to me may not be important. Rose, guys, today we have a new friend. I hope you get along well. Can you come in? The girl had entered and the boys couldn't stop staring at the beauty in front of them. Hello, my name is Momo Yaoyorozu. It's a pleasure to meet you. The whole class was surprised since they had one of the Yaoyorozu family. It is the second most comfortable apart from the Gremory, but there were two people who did not like it. Rose remembered that her parents found Issei in the Lost Park and from that day they adopted him, but the brown-haired boy had resources that he would not like to remember. Flashback. 8 years ago, a 5-year-old brown-haired boy is seen crying in his room, or rather he was hiding since his 4th birthday. He has been despised, saying that he is ashamed for his family, even for his older sister 7 years old. Momo Yaoyorozu is 6 years old. She was better at everything. Now it is a mansion party that her parents would announce good news. The brown-haired boy is in the courtyard with a face without emission since his family had excluded him, but would be interrupted by a silver-haired maid. Issei-san, why is he feeling good? Issei, it's nothing. I just want to be alone. It doesn't matter if I accompany you. Issei didn't say anything, so the silver-haired girl sat next to him. Issei-san is actually because of that. Issei, it doesn't matter to them. I was a mistake. I shouldn't have existed. You are wrong, maybe you believe that. But for me it has always been an honor to take care of you, and I consider you as my son. Issei, upon hearing those words, was crying with joy since the person who took care of him made him take his first steps and say his first words. A hug, which the maid responded to with affection. Issei, thanks Grafia Osie-san. Grafia, it was nothing Issei-kun. After that moment they decided to enter even if the party was taking place, but they would stop because of the sound of Issei's mother. She was a black-haired woman with green eyes and a body made by the same kami. Next to her Anya, a black-haired man with eyes of the same color. They were in front of the village and were going to make an announcement. Note: I'm too lazy to put a name, so I'll put PS. It's Issei's father talking plus Issei's mother talking and MS. Dear public, thank you very much for being here. Today is a very special day for our family. PS. Tonight I will name my daughter Momo Yaoyorozu as the future heir of the family. The whole town applauded except for two people. Grafia, who was furious with it, she turned to Issei. He was silent, but out of nowhere he ran out of the mansion with tears in his eyes because he knew that the Yaoyorozu family, the heirs are men, but when he is rejected he is expelled as a member of his family, and eyes yarrowed in his face. Issei was already emotionally broken. He was rejected, ignored, marginalized. Never in his childhood his parents gave him the education, and they gave it to his sister. Continued running until he realized that he was very far from his home. Issei, time. What hair? Where is Grafia Oka-san? I continue walking where he was already lost. 1 year later, Issei, 6 years old, wandered the streets of Tokyo looking for food. He slept in an alley inside a box. The clothes he was wearing that day were dirty and torn. He had nothing on him. He was alone. He wondered if Grafia was looking for him. Issei walked aimlessly until he came to a park where he saw parents playing with their children. Then he saw a brown-haired couple with a silver-haired girl of about 21 years old. Boy, are you okay? Asked the brown-haired man. Issei ran away but would be held by the girl. Listen, don't worry, we won't hurt you. Tell me what your name is. Mine is Rosswuas Hyoudou. Issei, I am Issei and only Issei. And tell us, Issei, why is a person like you here? Asked the woman. She approached and held Issei's hand since he had a cut. My name is Chisato Hyoudou. I am a nurse at Core Academy. I am Issei Hyoudou. It's a pleasure, and tell me why you are like this. Issei was nervous but decided to tell her who he is, but he didn't say his last name. He told her that his family marginalized him for not being talented, and that they never paid attention to him. This made both women feel sad. The man was upset. Issei, tell me, Issei, do you want to come eat? Issei, but I don't know how to pay him back. Issei, don't worry about that, I'll treat you. Chisato, how about you take a bath first, and we buy you some clothes? Issei nodded. He was on Chisato's side until she gave him her hand, something that Issei didn't understand, since whenever he wanted his mother to give him her hand, she refused and told him not to bother him. But now this woman offered him her hand, which Issei accepted, and they were together like a normal family, something that Issei always wanted. Months passed where Issei was happy with the Hyoudou family, and even Rose loved Issei as her brother. A few days later, Grafia saw Issei with the family. After the Hyoudou lords learned that he was the son of the Yaoyorozu family, but upon learning how they treated him, they made a decision that would change their lives. Issei, can we talk? Issei, hi, I am San. Issei and Chisato along with Rose went to the room where Ivan talked about a matter that included Issei. Chisato, Issei-kun, how do you feel about living with us? Issei, it feels amazing, they are like the parents and my sister that I never had. Chisato, I see if I told you that we want to adopt you acceptas. Upon hearing that, Issei shed tears of joy since it was family that was kind and loving and gave him the love he never had. Issei, no joke. Rose approached and hugged him. Obviously not, I love you as my brother Issei Hyoudou. Then Issei and Chisato hugged Issei. A year had passed now. Issei is 7 years old. Finally he was Hyoudou. He was happy with his family. Sometimes Grafia came to see Issei. Even though Issei does not have that last name, Grafia considers him her son. For about 2 months they moved to Kwa so his parents could work. He was very happy. Finally he had a family. Until that day his parents suffered a resident where a black car crashed into his parents' car and Ao was the driver. Everything happened the same since Chapter 1. Then flashback. Chapter 4 Painful Memory 2 POF Momo. It's been 8 years since that day, the day my brother left. Since I can remember, at 4 years old I rarely lived with him since my parents focused more on me instead of my brother. That every time he wanted to be with us my parents ignored him or told him not to bother me. I simply obeyed my parents since they were preparing me for a very important event. But the strange thing is that my brother was not included. That made me sad. Since I showed talent my parents decided to give their attention to me, leaving my brother in the care of a maid named Grafia who was good to him every time I wanted to go and play with him. But my parents told me not to be with him since to do so is a shame and a mistake. Those words I did not like very much. But that day my parents arrived I made a party for as an announcement. I was talking to children from the same class as my parents, but for me they were arrogant and spoiled. All I want is to be with my brother. I looked for him everywhere until I saw him in the window. I was in the fountain. Next to him was Grafia who was hugging him, which for me made me feel strange even though I don't blame her. She was like his mother after all. My parents gathered everyone since I was going to give the news, but what I heard made me grow hate Asia. My parents named me heir to the family, but when they saw my brother's look, that look of sadness, I knew that the heirs of the Yayarosa family were barons, but if they give it to someone else the heir is expelled. I saw my brother walk away. I was going to go, but I was surrounded by those damn girls who didn't let me go with my Oni-chan. A year had passed where I did not know about my Oni-chan. My parents did not care until I started to ignore them. I no longer spent time with them. When my mother wanted us to go shopping I told her not to bother, which made her feel bad, but she deserved it since my Oni-chan wanted to be with her and my father was the same, but he did not show it because of his pride. Months passed where I did not know anything. I always went out to look for him with flyers that Grafia helped me as her Avia lived a lot with her. Now I knew why she was a mother to Oni-chan. When my parents realized what Asia, we had an argument that made them Odyssey more. End of Momo. Flashback. Can you tell what you're doing? Momo, that doesn't matter to you. That's the way to talk to your mother. Momo, you are not my mother to tell me that. Asher. Yayarosa. Momo, that is not the education we gave you. Starting tomorrow you will go abroad too. I don't understand why Momo had turned. Momo, shut up. I decide my life. You are no longer my parents. You stopped being parents when you ignored Issei. That bastard was a mistake that shouldn't have been born. Momo, the mistake was your never knowing him. He wanted your attention as a mother, but what I see is that you are just a bitch who doesn't care about anything other than her prestige. How dare you speak to your mother like that? Momo, shut up. You are also a bastard who only thinks about his prestige. Issei just wanted a family that would accept him, but I see that you are the worst parents. I hate you. Momo was happy about it. Leaving the parents alone, her mother went into the room and her father to his office. When the mother closed the door she started to shed a few tears since what her daughter told her was true. She had rejected her own son, that he only wanted her comfort, but she denied it. She sat on the floor leaning on the bed. She took out a cardboard box that had Issei written on it. She opened it. Inside there were a few things about Issei. There was a photo of her hugging a 3-year-old brown-haired girl with love, and next to those photos there were some drawings that were made by him, even though they were poorly drawn, but you could see a black-haired woman next to her, a black-haired man, and next to each one 2 children, one brown-haired and one black-haired on the upside of my family. That made her burst into tears. She walked away from her son, and now she knew how her son felt. Sorry for being a bad mother, forgive me, I just want you by my side please, I wish Bulvas. With Momo's father, he is at his desk holding a glass of whiskey. After the words his daughter said, he was thinking about the words since he saw Issei born. He felt happy since he could teach him many things and for him to be an exemplary heir, but his pride blinded him. He ignored his son when he told him he wanted to play with him. He wanted him not to bother or be a hindrance. PM. Issei, sorry, I don't know if I should be filled, father, I don't deserve it, I'm worse than garbage, sorry my son, sorry. A year had passed. Momo was 10 years old. Everything was lonely after her parents realized their mistake. Momo's mother was disheveled, her eyes were red from crying so much, and it was noticeable that she had not slept. Her father only, it was noticeable that he no longer had that pride now, he only had a sad face. Even though Momo still hates them, she feels sad to see her parents like that. Every weekend Momo went out to find a clue as to where her brother could be. Her mother also wanted to help, even though Momo let the Odyssey help her, which made her very happy. A few months had passed. His mother fell unconscious. This was due to lack of food. Momo became worried, and so did his father. The doctor said he had to rest. They went to the room to see how he was, and there they saw that she had a photo where she was hugging her son. Momo, Mom, you're fine. I don't just want my Sohei by my side, I want to hug him. I don't know if he can call me maid. I'm the worst. PM. No honey, I don't deserve to be called either. It's my fault you're like this. It's my fault my son left. Sochi. Momo, Mom, I promise I'll bring Issei, I promise. Years passed where Momo was 16 years old, where she managed to find information about where she could be. She went to Qua City, and now she will fulfill her promise. Momo, Oni-chan, I promise we'll be a family again. Chapter 5, Sister Rivalry. After Momo introduced herself, she proceeded to focus on a seat behind Issei. He was nervous since he had conceived with her very few times. But it wasn't that he didn't appreciate her, it was that she only reminded him of his past. Rose was worried about Issei since he felt nervous being with his former sister, even though he wanted to kill her. But she knew that Issei would love her. But deep down he wanted to kill her. 2 hours had already passed where the classes were normal, where Momo stood out in all the classes even though Issei was on par, which surprised everyone and Izzy. After a few minutes it was time for lunch. Issei would go with Izzy since a certain redhead would look for him, or grape her. Now Issei is in a tree next to him. Was Izzy having lunch quietly? Issei was nervous since he was next to her, since it made him nervous, which also made Izzy nervous. Izzy, hey Issei, you and Momo were amazing. You and Momo are even. Issei, yes, true. Izzy, but Issei, why did you get tense when you heard his last name? Issei was quiet, but he didn't speak. It's nothing, it's just that he was surprised to see one of the members of the Yaoyorozu family. Izzy, I see Issei. Issei blushed seeing Izzy's action. 1 hour before, Rose was alone with Momo because she was worried about her. Rose, can you tell me what your motive is? Yaoyorozu-san. Momo, you don't have to be so formal. It's just that I'm on an exchange. Rose, don't act innocent. Why are you here? Momo, the truth is I'm coming for Issei. That made Rose angry. She already lost her parents, and now she wants to take away her only family left. Rose, who do you think you're going to take my brother away from me just because you come from a prestigious Saren family? Momo, I remind you that he is my little brother. Rose, he stopped being that when his parents ignored him. That made Momo sad to remember that, but she won't give up. Momo, and tell me, does Sensei Issei know about your parents being alive? That upset Rose since they told her that her parents had died. The truth is that they disappeared without a trace. They only left a note for her and one for Issei before they disappeared. Rose, how do you know that? Momo, I have contact. Look, even though I would like to, I can't take Issei out of your custody. But I would gain Issei's trust. Rose, you better give up. Issei prefers to be with me than with you. Momo, is this a bet or a challenge? Rose, take it as you want, but I will win. Applause. Both turned around, and what they saw was that they frowned. In front of them was a girl they didn't like. Mr. Rose, damn, first with this one and now with the red fox. Momo, tch, I forgot that she studies here, that damn tomato. And they wonder who it is. Well, it's no one else but Rias, who was leaning on the door looking at both women. Rias, wow, it's been a long time since I saw you, Momo-san, since you were named heir. Momo, what do you want to laugh? Rias, nothing special, I'm just looking for my Ototo. That made them both furious since she thought her brother was hers. Rose, what did you call it? Rias, oh sorry, what I meant was to my love. Momo/Rose, you who? Rias, oh that's not nice, but remember that Issei is my love. Then he left, leaving both girls upset. Momo, I don't know why my mom and dad wanted to make me just like her. Rose, I can't stand her, she's always harassing him. Momo, for the first time we agreed on something. Rose, yes, but now we have a little problem. Momo, and what is that? But when she turned around, Bio saw that Rose was at the window with a very unfriendly face. She approached, and what she saw also bothered her. They were watching Issei being fed by a certain chestnut. Rose, now he killed her. Momo, and who is she? Rose, a damn brother stealer, now he killed her. Momo, damn, and it had to be a chestnut. With our partner Izzy sneeze. Izzy, why do I always feel like I'm being cursed for my hair? Issei, something's wrong. Izzy, it's nothing Issei, let's go to the living room. After a few minutes they arrived at the classroom and the classes were normal. Until the exit, Issei waited for Rose outside, but a certain black-haired girl would arrive that made Issei nervous. Just like Momo. Momo Oni-chan yo. She didn't finish because she felt him hug her, which surprised her, but she reciprocated the hug. Issei, you don't know how much I miss you. With tears. Momo, I'm here now, but I really always wanted to hug you and tell me how it went for you in this type. Issei, it's been great. I finally managed to make a friend. Momo, seriously, and what are their names? Yes, it's that brown-haired bitch, he killed her. Issei, look here, good, pointing at a certain chestnut. Momo, brown dog. Izzy, or Issei, tomorrow we won't see, okay? Issei, at 6 o'clock, right? Izzy, yeah, bye. But he didn't realize that a certain silver-haired and black-haired girl gave off a scary aura. Rose/Momo, Issei, where are you going tomorrow? Issei replied fearfully. On a date with Izzy. 1, 2, 3. Rose/Momo w. Chapter 6. The appointment. After I told them I was going on a date with Izzy, Momo, and Rose, she never left my side, and she was even staying in the same apartment where we lived, on an Areba floor. When I went to see her, I was surprised because she looked almost like ours. Momo, Issei looks like you. Issei, it's incredible. It's like ours but a little bigger. Rose, damn little girls stealing brothers. Momo, I see there's someone who's been wanting to see you for a while. After saying that, I heard someone coming through the door. Momo-san, I'm here. That voice only belongs to one person that Issei knows, and that certain silver-haired Issei also turned around and looked at that woman who saw him grow up, the one who was his mother, and who was with him in the moments of crying and loneliness. Issei shed tears from his eyes when the movie turned over. She let go of things since she was in front of that little one that she had been taking care of since he learned to walk. Grafia, Issei-kun. Issei, Grafia Oka-san. Issei ran where he gave her a hug, where the silver-haired girl responded with happiness. They were like that for a few minutes where they separated. Grafia, you have grown many, Issei-kun. Issei, that's right. 8 years ago I only saw you the last 2 months that I came to Kwa, but you are still my mother after all. Grafia, thank you, and how have you been these years? Despite being good, you know you still miss them. Issei, yes, but I promised Oka-san and to San that I would be strong and take care of One-chan. Grafia, that makes me happy, and tell me, do you already have someone you like? Issei blushed at that. Well, we're just friends. Grafia, it seems that Issei-kun might like you. At that Issei blushed more, but he didn't realize that a certain duo listened to the whole conversation, and that made them jealous. After a few seconds they appeared behind Issei with a smile, but with an aura that was scary. Rose, Issei-kun, you really prefer me. Momo, how do you think he wants to be with me and not with an old maid? Rose, at least I don't have such an old-fashioned hairstyle. Momo, first of all, it's not old-fashioned, and secondly, at least I'm not a cow's breast. Rose, I'm not a girl with a soda forehead. Momo, as you told me, cow breasts. Rose, front soda duck ass. Both of them were sending each other murderous looks. Issei was behind Grafia, who was watching the scene at Asia, Momo, and Rose until she decided to stop this. Grafia, very good, you two, calm down. Hitting each of them on the head. Rose/Momo, sorry. Grafia, okay, Issei, you should go home now. Also, Issei-kun, remember that you have your first date. That made both girls jealous. Rose, hey, maybe we don't get along, but I need your help. She whispered it. Momo, I agree with Taigo, what's the plan? Rose, let's follow them and stop the brown bitch from. Momo, I agree. Rose, if one of us separates Issei from the brown dog, she will do anything to him. Momo, you're tempting me, so let's do it. Issei, One-chan, we're leaving now. Rose, yes, I'll be naked at 6 o'clock. Momo, hi, I'll be there. After Rose and Issei left, Grafia and Momo were talking. Grafia, Momo-san is going to take Issei to see his parents. Momo, I'll try that. Mom, I don't know how it felt last time. It's getting worse, she just wants to see Issei. Grafia, but I think he's going to want to see her after what he did to her. Momo, I don't know, but I promised Mom and I'll get Issei to forgive them. Grafia, I hope he gets it. Momo, well, I'm going to sleep. Grafia, Momo, I'm just telling you not to interfere with Issei's date. The Deja gave off a black aura. Momo, not as you think hee with Issei and Rose. Issei, one-chan, I'm going to take a bath. Upon hearing that, he had a very malicious idea and took advantage of Issei's innocence. After a few minutes, Issei was already in a room that was a hot spring that the hotel included. Issei was alone because he wanted to relax since tomorrow was his date, and he wanted to be relaxed. But he heard that someone had entered, and what he saw made him blush to a red color surpassing Ria's hair, because in front of him was his sister, who was only wearing a toalla that was stuck to her body. Rose, oh Issei-kun, don't you care if I accompanied you? Issei, no, never mind, I already went. Rose, don't go, I don't want to be alone. Issei just stood still, but he was blushing and embarrassed since his sister was naked in front of him. Rose, something's wrong, Issei-kun. Issei, no, it's nothing. Rose would look at him with a flirtatious face. She comes closer and puts her breasts close to his face. Rose, Issei-kun, you like being with Migo. Issei, you know that I will always be with you. Rose, Issei-kun, yo. I didn't finish because a certain brunette came in. Momo, oh Issei-kun, what a coincidence. Rose, damn duck's ass. Momo, damn cow breasts. And so they were all night where the two girls were fighting over Issei, where Bibbo barely came out. The next morning, Issei was already preparing for his date. It was 5:50, and there were 10 minutes left. Beast was wearing black jeans, a white shirt with a black jacket. Rose and Momo blushed when they saw him, as did Grafia. Issei, I'm leaving. Grafia, be careful. Rose, time to go back. Grafia, where are they going now? Momo, we're just going shopping. Rose, yes, just shopping. Grafia, it's good. Rose, we're leaving now. After Grafia left, she dialed a number on the phone and waited a few minutes, and a female voice. Tell me, Grafia, how is everything going? Grafia, everything is going well. How is Issei-chan? Grafia, now she's on a date. Well, I would say Issei-chan, I would like to be with him. Grafia, but it's better because if they find out that it's related to you, we'll take care of those two very soon. Please take care of Issei-chan. Grafia, hi, after all I promise you. With Issei already arrived, Anya was just waiting for Izzy. He was nervous, but with the advice Grafia gave him, he would help him. Izzy, sorry for the delay, Vomo Issei-kun. Imagine it's Izzy. Issei, hi. Issei would take Izzy's hand, but they didn't realize that two girls were watching them with jealousy, and they were none other than Rose and Momo. Rose, she is holding his hand, his delicate hands. Momo, I would like to be with him instead of that brown bitch. Rose, remember the plan to separate Issei from the brown dog? With our partner, Issei took Izzy to the movies where they saw a horror movie where Izzy got scared and a few kisses were found by Issei, which Izzy found adorable, and she hugged him, putting him on her breasts, which made the men and the best girls jealous and wanted to be in her place. But there were two girls who were very jealous and wanted to kill the brunette. Then they went to the fair where Issei won a bear from Izzy. But as soon as they left, they met Rose and Momo where she wouldn't leave Issei's side. Then they went to a game where they see your future in love, where the fortune teller saw 3 Ilos, one brown, one talked about, and one black, that represents the people with whom they are in love with him. After that it was normal, even though they had complications. In the distance a door that only saw half of their face with a smile. Issei-chan, Rose-chan, very soon we will be together because the threads unite us. Chapter 7 Reunion. POF Issei. It's been a week since the appointment I had Izzy where everything was calm, or if you can call her, after hearing what the psychic said. My sister Rose has been very attached, more than normal, to the point of sleeping with clothes that showed her beautiful body. I purred to myself, but I didn't know why. Momo has been more attached to do weird things with Migo. While they both act nice, but when I talk about Izzy they act weird. Hyoudou department. And Issei is seen lying down where he tries to move but go to the academy, but he can't since he is lying on 2 fluffy and soft pillows. When he opened his eyes he just got up, seeing that he was sleeping on top of Rose. She woke up giving him a smile. Rose, good morning Issei-kun, did you sleep well? Issei, yes, but why are you dressed in sari? I didn't know I was sleeping on you. Rose, it doesn't matter, if you want, you can sleep on me whenever you want. Issei, like innocent children, lay down again, something that Rose liked. Issei moved his head on her breasts, something that Rose began to excite her. She touched the back of Issei's neck. She continued moving. She began to let out small moans, but she felt a lump on Issei's pants. She stopped doing it because of the shame she felt. Issei, sorry one-chan. Rose, it doesn't matter Issei-kun. She would see the bulge in his crotch with one hand and began to rub it on his bust. Issei, one-chan, that feels strange and I don't know how to get over this. Rose with a flirtatious face approached Issei. Issei-kun, if you want I know a faster way. Issei just looked at her like Rose. She approached him, giving him a passionate kiss where she tried to put her tongue in, which Issei responded yes, starting a battle of tongues where Rose won. She continued kissing him. After that, Rose pulled down Issei's pants where she saw a bulge that she was surprised. Rose, for being 13 she is very big, but I am going to feel pleasure from my Oni-chan. She went down where she licked the tip where Issei felt excitement, then Rose put everything in her mouth where she began to suck it slowly, then she began to increase the speed. Issei couldn't stand it, grabbing Rose's head where she began to move, something that Rose liked until he couldn't take it anymore. Issei, one-chan, I have to go to the bathroom. Rose didn't pay attention and continued until Issei released everything into Rose's mouth where she swallowed all of her brother's sperm. Issei fell asleep, exhausted from exhaustion. Issei, one-chan, I'm sorry. Rose, don't worry Oni-chan, you gave me what I wanted. Tell me Issei, would you like to know what a virgin is? While she sat on top of her intimate Sona, who didn't care, I will focus on mini Issei. Issei, really? Rose, that's right. She was going to kiss him, but they would be interrupted by the doorbell and more so by the person who was there. Momo, I see, don't even hurry up, we're going to be late. Rose, TSH, we were already at the best part. Issei-kun, don't tell anyone about this. Okay, Issei, yes one-chan. After that scene, the trio with Grafia was having breakfast. Everything was calm until Momo gave him some news that he didn't know if Issei would like. Momo, Issei, today our parents will come for the parent-teacher meeting at the academy. That made Issei and Rose tense, a little bit of a crutch that Issei's former parents came from another side. Issei was a sea of emotions. He felt hatred for what his parents are, who ignored him and marginalized him, but he was just a little bit happy because even though he hates them, they are still his parents. Rose, do you really think so? But I didn't finish because Issei spoke. Issei, they will come, right? Grafia, that's right, they'll stay on one of the city's lands. Issei, I see. Grafia, Issei-sama will be good. Issei, yes Grafia Oka-san. After breakfast they went to the academy where it was normal, until they ran into a certain black-haired girl. Yuma. Hello Issei-kun. Issei, Yuma-chan. Yuma, Issei-kun wants to go on a date with Migo. Issei, well. But he didn't finish because his sisters talked. Rose, are you really insisting he's dating Migo, a fifth-rate actress? Momo, I'm not going to leave my brother with a bitch like you. Issei. Let's go. Issei nodded, leaving a black-haired girl upset. Yuma, damn, I swear he'll be mine. It'll be better to listen to him. Maybe he'll help me make Issei mine. Haha. Already at the academy the students were seen and also the parents were seen. That brought nostalgia to Issei since it reminds him of his adoptive mother, but he will be taken out of his thoughts since a charity was created in front of the academy. Everyone looked surprised. From the limousine came out a black-haired man wearing a business suit. The women blushed a lot when they saw him. Then a black-haired woman with green eyes came out. The men thought how beautiful she was, but for Issei he felt nervous. It's been 8 years since he met his parents. After that Issei entered and sat in his place where Momo arrived with his parents. When they saw Issei, they were a sea of emotions. The parents felt calm since their son was fine and had grown. His mother was something else. She was very happy to see her son, whom she had wanted to see after 8 years. Elsewhere, Rose felt depressed since she couldn't be with Issei and see how he progressed in his cases. She was worried since her ex-parents were there, and she was afraid that they would take Issei away from her. Back with Issei. Teacher, okay guys, today you will make a school with the RCA you have, so start. Everyone had compensated. Issei was thinking that Asher. Issei, I do something I like. Teacher, young Hyoudou, how did he do it? Everyone turned around and was surprised because he made a sculpture of roses in a provocative pose. Student 1, that's not Rose Sensei. Student 2, it's identical. Student 3, it's true. Teacher, wow, young Issei, I didn't know you had a talent for that. Issei was embarrassed, but the teacher saw Momo's and was also surprised and made 2 figures of Issei, which surprised everyone and her parents who saw their daughter do that. Will be. Hazuma, I think we should talk to Momo about her crush on Issei-kun. Hazuma, yes, but I can't believe that Issei has such good taste. But he'll be pulled by the ear for it. It will be. What did you say? Hazuma, no, nothing. After class Issei was going to go to the classroom where Rose was, but he would be stopped by Momo, who was accompanied by her parents. It will be. Issei-kun, we can talk. Issei would stop. He didn't want to see them, but a part of him wanted to, but he was afraid, so he took courage and decided to speak. Issei, and what do you want to talk about, Miss Yaoyorozu? She felt sad because he doesn't accept her as a mother. It will be, to be able to meet you, please son. I have already lost part of your life, please let me remedy my mistakes, please. Everyone hearing that he was the son of the Yaoyorozu family was a surprise, but what surprised everyone was seeing the woman kneeling, which surprised everyone, and even Issei. He knew that his mother was someone to be had and that she would never kneel before Sadie, and now she is doing it to seek the affection of her son. Issei approached him holding his hand. His mother was surprised when she saw him. Issei was investigating. It's okay. We can talk, but only if Wanchan and Izzy come with me. Go. It will be, she is fine. She hugged him with all her strength, where Issei reciprocated. A few minutes later they met at the cafeteria where Rose, upon seeing her sculpture, hugged Issei tightly because she didn't want to let him go. Mr. Rose, to be parents they are very young. Rose, very well, gentleman Yaoyorozu, what do you want to talk to my brother about? Hazuma, we wanted to know if he was okay and spend some time with him. Rose, not only is that true, will it be? The truth is we want Issei to come with us to the family island so we can spend the right amount of time. Rose, and what makes them believe that I'm going to let him go? I don't think about separating from him even for a small amount. Izzy, either do I, since I'm his girlfriend. That surprised Momo's parents that their son has a girlfriend, and they would see Rose and Momo upset. Rose/Momo, damn chestnuts steal little brothers. But they would be interrupted by a certain red-haired girl. Rias, Autodo, you don't know how lonely I was. That made the three of them jealous. Issei, Rias-senpai. Hazuma, Rias-san, I didn't know you were studying here. Rias, Mr. Yaoyorozu, it's been a while since I saw you, maybe it will be san. It will be. I say the same, and it seems to me that your parents came, right? Rias, that's right. In the distance you would see a man with long red hair and a small beard. Next to him was Anya, a brown-haired woman with violet eyes who was identical to Rias. It will be Venezuelan time san. Venelana, hi, it's been a while since you last saw me. It will be, and been busy. Venelana, so this is you are Issei Rias, it tells us a lot about you. Issei, really? Sudikus, you are related to Hazuma, they are relatives. Issei, good. Rose, he is my little brother. I am Rosswuas Hyoudou. Izzy, I'm Izzy Orimura. Venelana, from the Orimura family. Izzy, that's right, but I'm Issei's girlfriend. Rias got upset about that. Hey, he's mine, damn chestnut. Izzy, what did you hear, tomato? Rias/Izzy. Tomato/big forehead/tomato/big forehead/tomato/big forehead. Momo, enough with you two, Izzy. I have no problem with you being my brother's girlfriend, but remember that we will share. That shocked the Gremory that Issei was their brother. Sudikus, Hazuma, he is your son. Hazuma, that's right. Venelana, but I thought it was just Momo. It will be. It is complicated. Issei, I can express it to you. After a few hours where he told them his life story, how they ignored him out of contempt, and when he ran away from home and how he met Rose and his parents. The Gremory were stunned by what Issei told them. Venelana felt sadness and hatred. Sadness because Issei suffered and lived on the streets for a year. Hatred with her friend for what Iso. Sudikus felt sorry for him for what he lived, but when he heard that this family welcomed him and took care of him, she felt happy that Issei got that family. He wanted this street in her thoughts since Issei declared himself. She rejected him and Yumio, but when she heard his life made her realize that Issei had suffered worse things that a child should not live. His parents were worse off, they felt worse. His mother was worse off since she couldn't be the mother who saw her son grow up. After that, all classes were normal until the exit. Issei and Rose walked back to their house but were stopped by Momo. Momo, you don't want me to take them? Issei, yes, thank you. Rose, I see either, but Issei, don't worry, after all they are my parents. Rose, are you sure? He nodded. Then they got into the limousine where his parents were, where on the way there was an awkward silence. His mother was at his side. She was nervous. Rose noticed it. She was holding Issei to her breasts where she felt jealous of a mother. Sarah, damn Baka's breasts take advantage of her innocence. My Ni Sochi first, the brown bitch, but this one that you think I will not give up. Hazuma, I didn't think Issei was so innocent. Because of the look in his eyes he has maternal jealousy. But I'm worried about Momo because she falls in love with her brother. But how envious she is. Will be, tell me how you live. Rose, we live well, we also sleep together. Stroking her hair as if she were a cat and pressing his head to her breasts was normal for Issei, but his mother felt maternal jealousy. Hazuma, well, Issei, in 2 weeks it will be vacation. We will go to the beach. No, if you would like to go. Issei, yes, why not? Will be seriously. With a smile. Momo, Mom, what if they spend the night with Issei? I don't think so. I don't think you'd mind, right? Dad, Hazuma, no problem for me. Thoughts, what a good idea, Momo, that way she'll forgive us and we can be a family again. Will be, really, it doesn't bother you. Issei, well, no problem for me. Rose, no problem. With a forced smile, damn, and I wanted to make him mine tonight. Sarah, this is my chance. I won't waste it. And besides, it's clear that she wanted to take away his innocence. I won't allow it. 5 minutes later, Hyoudou department. Issei, along with Rose and his mother, were already at home. But his mother saw that there was only one bed and realized something about whether they slept together. After dinner they went to sleep where Rose and Sarah slept together. Imagine what it will be like. Sarah, I promise I'll never leave you alone, Sochi. Rose, I see, nor do not leave me. But both women were hugging Issei, sticking him to the breasts of both women. But both women threw rays at each other. But our protagonist didn't know what they were doing, so he fell asleep sticking to the breasts of Rose and Sarah, and both hugged Issei with a smile. Rose / Sarah rest ICNI / Sochi. Chapter 8. The Kidnapping of Issei. The next morning Issei woke up, but now he is in the middle of the two beautiful women. Issei was on the breasts of both women where he was hugged like a stuffed animal, but a certain silver-haired girl woke up seeing her little brother between her breasts. Rose, good morning, I see. It will be. Hello, Sochi, you slept well. Issei, yes, but they're squeezing me. It will be, sorry. Rose, for me, stay like that. It will be. Hey, let it go, crazy. Rose, nobody calls me crazy, except for an old woman hitting me with a haystack. It will be. I'm barely 35, a brat, and I hit him with the pillow. While Issei was in the middle, he escaped to the bathroom to take a shower, but he didn't imagine he would meet Grafia. Issei, Grafia Oka-san was not my Grafia. Oh, Issei, how daring, but it doesn't matter. Do you think it's better if we bathe together? Issei, but, Grafia, don't worry. If we always bathe together, you forget it. After dessert, they both entered where Issei didn't find it strange to bathe with Grafia since he always did. Asia, now they both find themselves in the tub where Issei is leaning on Grafia's breasts. Grafia, Issei, is true that Sama is here? Issei, yes, she stayed overnight. Grafia, and you gave him a chance? Issei, yes, but don't think that I'm going to forget about you. You will always be my mother for life because I love you. 3. Grafia blushed upon hearing the boy's words since she also had feelings for the boy, so to show her love she gave him a kiss on the lips where Issei was surprised, so since he is so innocent he reciprocated the kiss where a few minutes passed where a certain Asabak entered the scene. Momo, Grafia, what are you doing with my Omi-chan? Grafia, Momomo-san, don't be mean, also share. Momo grabbed Issei and also kissed him on the lips. But Grafia approached to give him a kiss anyway. Both women were immersed in pleasure where both took the member that was erect. Grafia, wow, my Sochi has it hard. Momo, Oni-chan's big. Both were going to continue, but a killer instinct terrified them where they saw Rose. It would be with a look of few friends. Rose, what do you think they are doing to my little brother? It will be. I didn't expect that from you, Grafia. You wanted to take away my child's innocence. Rose, well, what a shame, since he had his first cum shot and his first kiss. Trio, you who persist. Rose, as you hear it, he already gave me his first glimpse and his first run. Will be, how dare you do that to my son? Grafia, it's not fair. I wanted to try it first. Momo, me too. Will be, Momo-chan. Momo, sorry. It's just that since he left I always wanted to have him by my side and I wanted all his first times. Her mother was blank that her daughter would have that fetish with her brother. After the 3 girls passed and Issei was with her mother, the 3 women were jealous and more Grafia that her child was not with him. Rose wanted her brother to do many things. 7W7 Momo like Grafia who wanted her Oni-chan. After the bath, they were already in the main room. But someone knocked on the door. Grafia went to see and it was Hazuma. Issei, Oto-san. Hazuma, hello, I see. Will it be Momo, good morning. Momo, good morning, Oto-san. Rose, good morning, bowing. Will be, what happened? You didn't say you were going to work. Hazuma, yes, I just came to see my son and his girlfriend. Issei and Rose Nananovia, they smiled. But Rose imagined a relationship with Issei. But her mother was jealous, as were Grafia and Momo. Rose, thank you very much, sister-in-law. Don't worry, mother-in-law. I'll take good care of your son. Momo, I'm not going to leave my Oni-chan with cow breasts. Rose, who are you calling cow breasts with a big forehead? Momo, how did you tell me cow breasts? Rose, forehead. Both of them started to fight where the 2 men were blank but more Issei. Hazuma, you have to be popular with the girls. Issei Odo-san, that is a bullshit, I meant it with innocence. Hazuma was stunned because his son touched on a very personal subject, and the girls were the same, and the girls looked at Rose with jealousy. Hazuma, Issei, I think I'll have to give you the talk. Issei, there is. Rose, I see. Do you mind going to buy things for breakfast, please, since I want to talk to your parents about something? Issei, there is. Momo, I'll go with him. After they both left, Rose was with a serious expression. Rose, now tell me, how did he know that our fathers are alive? It will be well, I've known Chisato for a long time. She was in charge of finding a trafficker who had stolen our company's cargo. They followed them to a point where they had to leave, but they knew that you would be in danger, so they faked their deaths so that you could have a normal life. She left you a letter telling you what really happened. Hazuma, sorry, it's our fault they had to leave them, and especially Issei, who they loved. Rose, I know lying to him these years hurts me. If he finds out, he would hate me. My parents and Issei are the only thing I have left. She started to cry. Grafia would hug Rose. She must feel guilty that her friend did that job. Hazuma felt equally guilty that Issei was leaving now. He wonders if she is okay. But they would be interrupted by a certain Asabak who looked worried. Hazuma, Momo, what happened? Where Issei? Momo, they took him away. Will it be what happened to my son? Rose, tell me where it is. Momo, you see, we were walking back and we were going calmly, but on the corner a black limousine was following us. We took the long path to lose them, but two men started to follow them. We ran to an alley, but they cornered us. They were going to take me, but Issei hit the guy with a bottle. He told me to leave, but I didn't want to until he pushed me into some boxes to hide, but one hit him, and they took him to the limousine, but I could see the person who took Issei. Rose, who took him? Taking the girl's shoulders. Momo, it was Yuma. Rose, I swear I'll kill that damn thing. She was heading for the door, but Grafia would stop her. Grafia, don't do something stupid. You don't know who his father is. Will be who is the damn one. Grafia, it's dance. Chapter 9. We share the same pain in returning from the dead. On the outskirts of the city, in a large traditional Japanese house, guarded, but in one of the rooms, there is a chestnut tree, but the strange thing is that it is tied with difficulty. He gets up and can see a room, a beautiful traditional room. Issei, where am I? Where is Momo Eni? Oh dear, have you woken up yet? Issei Boltio, seeing the same black-haired girl who always invited him out, but now she was wearing a red kimono, leaving her right leg exposed. Issei, Yuma-chan. Yuma, oh dear, you can just call me Yuma. Issei, Yuma, why am I here and why am I tied up? Yuma, or so I asked my dad to bring you here kindly, but things got complicated, and I asked them to bring you here by force, tied up in case you try to escape. Issei, so you kidnapped me? I said it scared. Yuma, don't take it like that. Son is our honeymoon, my love, said it in an insight but flirtatious way. She pounced, giving him a kiss on the lips, but her kiss was not of lust but of pure love. She continued kissing him, but they separated due to lack of friend. I love you, Issei. Since I saw you I couldn't think of anything else but you. You are very special, so I wanted to ask you out so I could get to know you, but your sister wouldn't allow it. I just wanted you to accept me. She started to shed tears. I can't stand it anymore. I hate my father's job. That's why I want you by my side so I'm not alone. This life is horrible. I just want a normal life with you, a simple house that doesn't have these bars that keep me from freedom. Issei, Yuma, and why don't you flee? Yuma, I have nowhere to go and I don't know what to do. Since my mother died, I feel alone. I just want to be loved. I don't know if you understand. Issei, in fact, I understand you. My real life was never normal. I am the son of the Yaoyoro's family. My mother never paid attention to me. I was only 5 years old. I left home and spent a year on the streets. But there I met the person who became my mother. When she died, I felt abandoned. So I understand you. You and I share the same pain. Yuma was surprised that the boy she liked was the son of the Yaoyorozu. She put that aside since that person understood what it was like to lose what we love most, our mother. Yuma gauges Issei. Issei, why don't you come with me? We can have a better, normal life. Please come with me. Yuma, I would love to, but no, since the house is in a bad state and besides, I'm the daughter of the most dangerous person in all of Japan. Issei, of whom? Yuma, from Danzo Himura, Hyoudou Department. A certain silver-haired girl was sitting crying for not finding her little brother. Rias and Izzy were also there, as well as Issei and Grafia's parents. Rose, I see, where are you? It's my fault. Momo, it's not your fault. It was mine that I was taken by that bastard. Rose, I want him back. I want him in my arms and not let him go. Izzy, don't worry, I know Issei will be fine. Rias, you're right. I already have people looking for Danzo-san's home. Izzy, what does that Danzo want with Issei? It cannot be that he knows that he is our son. Almost no one who is known knows it. Rose, and you still have the nerve to say it. You barely know him, and now you consider him your son. It will be I know I made mistakes, but I want you to know that he is my son. Rose, it stopped being like that when you decided to ignore it, and only after 8 years do you realize it. Rias, stop fighting, this doesn't help us at all. Rose, it's better not to get involved. You broke his feelings for you, and in front of that you let him look ridiculous. That's why we moved away, and I decided that he would never go out with a spoiled girl like you. Grafia and Izzy have nothing to do with each other. You are his mother, and you are the first friend who didn't abandon him and Momo. Despite that, you are the only one who cared about him. But I am his only family, or I don't know if Mom and Dad are alive. I don't know what to do anymore. She threw herself on the floor to walk away. Someone would knock on the door. Grafia went to see who it was, but when she opened the door, she was in shock because in front of her were the people her son wanted as true parents. Grafia, Chisato-san, Issei-san. Rose approached to see why Grafia wasn't coming. When she saw the front, she stayed just like Grafia. She fell on her knees and began to cry. She knew that those people she thought she would lose were right in front of her. Rose Otosan Oka-san, Chisato, we're back, my girl. Chapter 10, Knowing the Truth, with Issei. After they talked, he was planning how to escape, but when they were going to start, one of the managers called them to talk to Issei. He was nervous, but Yuma held his hand so he wouldn't feel nervous. Then they went to the dining room. After a few minutes, in a room, there is a black-haired man. Note, I'm too lazy to put an image, it's Danzo from Naruto. I dance, take a seat. Both boys focused in front of him. Issei was scared of having an intimidating person like him and also of being one of the most dangerous Yakuzas. But he calmed down because Yuma took his hand so he wouldn't get scared. Danzo, and you won't introduce me to your friend. Yuma Odo-san, he is Issei Hyoudou. He is the boy I told you about. He said it with a smile. Issei, it's a pleasure. Danzo, I apologize for how we upset you. Issei, don't worry about it. Danzo, and tell me, Issei, do you have a family apart from your sister? Issei, and how do you know I have a sister? Danzo, I can read minds. Issei went blank because he knows how to read minds. Danzo, the truth is that my daughter mentioned it, and in addition to calling her a spinster, and having cow breasts, and having a Buddha doll in her shape. Issei was relieved to see Yuma. She was whistling and going somewhere else. Issei, it's not just my sister and me. Danzo, and your parents. Issei, they died in an accident. Yuma, but I'm here so he won't be alone again. Issei, but I have to go home because my sister is worried. He got up with Yuma, but the door would be closed. Danzo, Issei, you know it's not good to lie, and I also know that you are the son of the Yaoyorozu. Both boys stood still, but Issei was tense because of what he said. He knew that very few people knew of his existence. I danced, Lebenzilo boys. Out of nowhere the men took Issei. Yuma tried to get closer but they stopped him. Issei tried to get rid of them, but he wasn't strong enough, so they put a cloth on him to put him to sleep and took him away. Yuma was taken to her room where she was locked up. She tried to open it, so she left through a tunnel that went to the backyard where the guard couldn't see her. She was wearing her uniform. She went to her beloved's house to ask her sister for help. Hyoudou department. Rose, Grafia, Momo will be a Rias and Izzy were in shock since Rosa's parents and the adoptive parents who took care of their son many years ago were there. Grafia Gamas, it's sad that the one he talked to all the time was that same woman who met and took care of his child. Chisato, you probably have a lot of questions, right? Rose, yes. First, how is it that they are alive and why did they never come back? Issei, we couldn't go back because if we did there was a chance that you and Issei would hurt them. That's why we had to fake our deaths so that they could live a normal life. Rias, Chisato-sama, Yasi-sama, what did you do before becoming a nurse and a teacher? Chisato, the truth is, we worked with the Yaoyorozu family as their servants for a while, but before that I worked for the FBI. Your father was in the CIA before. I met him at one of my jobs and they assigned us to work together and to keep an eye on Sarah and Azuma. After a while we left the agency to live a quiet life, me as a nurse at the Core Academy and him as a teacher. Then you, Rose and Issei, arrived. Izzy, but there must be a reason for faking their deaths, right? Issei, that's right. The agency asked us to come back to do this last job, to find the warehouse where they think they sell weapons in Japanese territory. We also received a report that they had stolen the codes for missiles from Russia and America, and a report from one of our suspects in the United Kingdom from 2010. Grafia is one of the first nuclear-powered attack submarines of the Astute class, was ordered by the Royal Navy in 2010. So far, 7 boats of the class are planned. These will replace the older Swift-class attack submarines. The Astute-class boats are significantly stealthier and carry more weapons than the previous Trafalgar-class boats. These attack submarines are equipped with 6 533mm torpedo tubes. These are used to launch spearfish torpedoes, subharpoon anti-ship missiles and Tomahawk cruise missiles. A mix of 36 missiles and torpedoes are carried. The Tomahawk Block 4 land attack cruise missiles have a range of 1,700 kilometers and can home in on enemy vessels as well as shore-based targets. Entered service, 2010. Jump depth, over 150 m. Torpedo tubes, 6 by 533 mm. Weapons, spearfish torpedoes, subharpoon anti-ship missiles, Tomahawk cruise missiles. Momo Graphia, how do you know about that? Graphia, although you may not know, I had another life before being a maid and mother. Chisato, she used to work with us and was known as the Ice Queen, in addition to being one of the best professional chefs in the company. Everyone was left blank as to how a calm and kind person could have been a killer for the CIA. It will be Graphia, that's true. Graphia, that's right. Azuma. But you were always harsh with the others and we never saw you smile. Graphia, that was because I wasn't interested until they left me in charge of Issei. He made me change since he called me mom that day. I decided to be the best mother for him. It will be under the gaze of just remembering that, but she would not give up with her son. But they would be interrupted because someone knocked on the door. Izzy went to find out who it was while the others were talking, but they would hear a scream from the brunette. Izzy, what the hell are you doing here? Please listen. Izzy, I have nothing to listen to. They all went to see and what they saw they couldn't believe it. Rose was furious and wanted to hit her. Momo was the same. She laughed. She just remained silent, but she also wanted to kill her. Rose, what are you doing here, Yuma? Special, let's be together. Issei 8 years old and Rose 29. POF Rose. Today was a normal quiet day and my little brother would confess the girl he likes even though I don't like to admit it. I don't want him to get away from me, but it's his life and I'm always there for him. 2 months have passed since our parents died and Issei wouldn't stop crying. That's why I really liked having him in my arms and not letting him go that day. Well timed to make food for Issei. End of Roses. POF narrator. After a few hours, Rose almost had the food ready and was just vacuuming the house to make it clean. A few minutes later he started to talk to her. She noticed him and got worried about her brother, so she changed clothes to go get her brother. She came out when he was about to open the umbrella, but there he was, her brother, wet and covered in mud, with scratches on his hands and feet. She dropped the umbrella where she didn't care if it got wet, she just wanted to see her brother. She bent down to be at his level. Rose, I know you're okay. What happened to you? Tell me. She seemed worried about her brother's condition, but she could hear some crying from him. I know what happened. She hugged him while he cried and unloaded his pain on her. Issei, she made fun of me. She said I was trash. Sniff. She pushed me to a nice sniff that is near the school and sniff. The whole school made fun of me. Rose was silent as she hugged her brother tightly, who was still crying. She tried not to go and hit that girl who destroyed her brother's feelings and have to pay at school, but she didn't want to leave her brother alone. She took him inside so he wouldn't catch a cold. She took him to the bathroom where she took off his clothes. He just stood there with a lost look and his eyes didn't reflect any shine. Rose was worried because she always saw him happy, cheerful, full of life and with dreams. But what she liked the most were his eyes that had a shine of happiness. Now she saw those dull eyes that seemed empty, as if they had no soul. Into the bathroom. She was washing his head while she thought about Arya. She thought that Issei would no longer want to go after what they did to him, but she put that aside. She only wanted to take care of and comfort her brother. She got into the tub with him. She was sitting behind him while she hugged him lovingly. He just leaned on her breasts where he shed a tear. Rose, I see. Issei One-chan, do you think I'm trash? She was in shock at her brother's words. She hugged him tighter to keep him from going. Rose, I see. Don't pay attention to that spoiled girl. You're not trash, you're kind and gentle. She didn't see that in you and she didn't know how to see that. Whoever would realize that if she doesn't love you, I will always love you. In his eyes you could notice a small sparkle. Rose hugged him with so much affection. Issei reciprocated the hug. She was happy that he recovered the sparkle in his eyes where she kissed his forehead like her mother did a long time ago. The next morning, Issei was waking up, but he could notice that he was being hugged by his sister and also being on her breasts. He just closed his eyes again but opened one where he saw his sister smile. He did the same where he attached himself to her. She noticed it and just hugged Issei harder. A few minutes later they both woke up and went down to breakfast. Rose, I see. I want to ask you something. Issei, what happened? Rose, it's about your school. Issei lowered his head since he didn't want to remember that. Issei, what's going on with the school? Rose, I thought about it last night, so Issei, we will move from here and I will transfer you to another academy. Issei was surprised that they would move and that I would change schools. Issei, but One-chan, what about your work? Rose, well, that's what it's about, since they offered me a job at the Qua Academy, and they'll pay me better than what I earn. But what are you saying? I also care about your opinion. Issei thought about it for a few minutes. He didn't want to go back to that school since everyone surely knows about what happened yesterday. Oh, I want to move in with you. Rose of joy hugs Issei from behind, pressing her breasts against him. Issei, Rose, Rose, I like One-chan more. Issei, but Ro didn't finish because he was being crushed by Rose's breasts. One-chan. Rose, I can't hear you. Issei, One-chan. Rose stronger. Issei, One-chan. Rose stronger. Issei, One-chan, One-chan. Rose stronger. Issei, One-chan, One-chan. Rose, oh, I see you are so kawaii. But they didn't know that outside on the street they could hear everything. The neighbors thought they were doing it, and the men with nasal underarms imagining that, but they cursed the boy's luck of having a sister as beautiful as her. Later, Rose and Issei are seen outside the house with some suitcases since they were leaving today, but not before seeing for the last time the house that belonged to their parents. You could see that Rose was crying. Issei took her hand so she would know she was not alone. She smiled and then left. Rose, Issei, promise me that we will be together. Issei, hi, I promise you that we will be together. After that day everything changed at Issei's school. They continued making fun of him for what had happened until they decided to play a joke on him, but he didn't come to the academy where they were disappointed. A week passed, and he didn't come, which for them was strange since he always attended school. But when they found out that he moved and changed schools, that made his friends sad, well, ex-friends, since they also made fun of him. So Issei and the girl, when she found out that Issei had moved and left school, that disappointed her since her plan didn't go as she wanted. With Issei and Rose they arrived at their new apartment. Issei, oh, it's great. One-chan. Rose, I knew you would like it. Issei, but One-chan, there is only one bed. Rose, well, it was the only one available, although I wanted it so you could sleep with me. Ha ha ha. Okay, Issei, why don't you unpack while I make dinner? Issei nodded while Rose had a bag where he had a surprise for his brown-haired girl. 5 minutes later, Issei was going down to have dinner, but when he went to the kitchen he had a runny nose because he saw his sister, who was only wearing an apron and was naked. Rose, Issei, are you done? Tell me what you think. Turning around, where he could see her beautiful body. Issei, try not to faint. You look good. With a deep blush he cleaned himself up to be close to her, where she bent down revealing her breasts. Issei wanted to look away, but he would be held by Rose, who had hugged him between her breasts. Rose, I see, I love you. Issei, me too. One-chan. He hugged her back, but Rose's apron would fall, leaving her body exposed. Issei wanted to turn around, but Rose would hug him tightly. He was red because despite being used to bathing with her, sometimes he felt embarrassed. But now he was on top of her naked, leaving her beautiful body in sight. Issei. One-chan. Rose, don't move. I don't have any clothes anymore, and I like having you like this in my arms. Issei. I also like being by your side because you remind me of Mom. Rose. JM, but with Mom you weren't so naughty. Issei. Tell me when CHSN when I enter the academy. Rose. In a week, so you'll come with me since I don't want to leave you alone. He nodded happily. After that incident, they went to sleep, where Issei was asleep on Rose's breasts. She really liked that. Issei liked her a lot. That night she promised herself something. Rose, I promise you that no one will hurt you. I won't let anyone get close to you. Since the two of us united, it was our destiny to be just you and me. I will always take care of you and we will always be together. Issei, always together. One-chan he said in his sleep. Rose, together. Then they fell asleep for another day. The next morning you see an Issei with a red shirt and a black jacket, in addition to having headphones and having a necklace with a chain. Imagine he has green eyes. Issei, One-chan, are you ready? Rose, oh, I could only find my cell phone. She was wearing a light jacket, a opaque pink skirt, stockings that covered her legs, and heels that reached her knees. Rose, we are extending our hand. Issei, hi, giving him in the hand. Later they were walking where the people thought it was mother and son. The women looked at Issei with tenderness, and the men looked at them with lustful glances. But she held Issei tighter so that he wouldn't move away. POF Issei. Today was a quiet day. Today I will see the academy where my mother used to work. But on the way many men wanted to stop by my sister, where she beat up every man who approached her, so they decided to stay away from her so as not to end up like them. But the rest of the way was quiet with my sister. End of Issei. POF Rose. Today is a day where I take my brother to my job. I am happy even though I received the looks of the men. I did not care. They even tried to be smart. The good thing is that I know how to defend myself well where I sent them to the hospital for a week. End of Roses. After a few minutes they were already at the entrance of the academy. Rose. And what do you think I see? Issei. It's great, but why are there women? Rose. It's an exclusive academy for women only. Issei. I wish Mom was here. Rose. Me too, but let's move forward for her. Okay. Extending her hand. Issei. They're giving him his hand where they entered together. Rose. We'll be together, I see. Issei. Always together, one-chan. To be continued. Final, Part 1. Hyoudou Department. At the entrance there is a certain brunette who had caused so many problems for the Yumas, who was in charge of her lover's family, that they looked at her in a bad way. Rose. How dare you come here? But tell me where my brother is. Chisato. Calm down, Yuma-san. Why did you come here? Tell me why they took my son. Yuma. You are his mother, but he said she died. Chisato. He doesn't know I'm alive. But let's leave that aside. Tell me where he is. Yuma. I guess, but it's just a guess. Issei. Where? Yuma. My father always goes to the old military base, but I don't know anymore. Hazuma. Wait, but there's supposed to be nothing. They took everything from there. Sarah. Also, what do you see in that place? Yuma. I heard my father about an auction. Izzy. It could be that. Chisato. What's up? Izzy. According to what I know in science class, they showed us a projection about a dream that could be the key to making an improved soldier. It was also stolen on the news a month ago. Yuma. My father carried a Hydra lab case. Issei. So you plan to sell them? Do you know where it is? Yuma's. Yes, my father took me from time to time. Rose. Let's not waste time. Chisato. Wait, Rose, if we go, I'm sure the whole place is under surveillance. Also, according to reports, he's a smuggler. Also, according to what they accuse him of stealing the latest generation of tanks. Think before you act. Rias. If that is true, what do you think? Chisato. We will go. Sarah. You're crazy if you go. Chisato. I don't plan on dying, and I'll bring my son back. Grafia. You don't mind if I go with them. Momo. Grafia, but I'm sure you can. Grafia. I may have retired, but I still haven't lost my touch. Chisato. It seems that you want to come, and I know that you still have that katana. Momo, huh? Chisato. I forgot. Before becoming the heir of her family, she was known as the Red-Eyed Demon, a young assassin who stood out but left to take charge of her family. Momo. Oka-san. Sarah. That was a long time ago. Rose. I'll go too, Oka-san. Despite what you say, I'll go. Yuma. It's also my fault that I got Issei into this. I want to at least get him out of this problem. Chisato. I knew you would say that. Tell me, have you continued practicing with the bow, and have you, Yuma's, fired a gun? Rose. Every morning since we moved in. Yuma. That's right. My father took me to shooting ranges. Issei. Well, let's get ready. After a few minutes, a helicopter was already waiting where it was. The first to leave was Issei, who was wearing a suit and trench coat. The second was Yuma. Later it was will be Sarah. It's been a long time since I used it. The fourth was Grafia. Grafia. I never thought you were a murderer, you're a Sama. Sarah. Sometimes there are things that should not be known. The fifth was Pink. Rose. It feels weird to use this. Chisato. Calm down. Besides, you look good. Rose. I never thought I'd see you like this, Oka-san. Chisato. This is the plan. Rose. You will be our eyes in the sky. Yuma and Issei. Eliminate those on the front. Grafia and Sarah take care of the snipers. I will go for Issei. Ready. All high. On the outskirts of the city is the old military base where guards and vehicles can be seen surrounding the perimeter. Inside the base, Issei is waking up where he feels dizzy, but when he regains his sight he could see Danzo. Danzo. It seems you've already woken up. Issei. Where are we? What are you saying to Yuma? Danzo. She's home except you're in Kwa's old military base. Issei. What do you want with me? Danzo. Despite being a good boy, I don't want anything from you. She asked me to bring you to auction because I don't know how, but the most beautiful female traffickers will come because you caught their attention. Issei. Who asked him? It was me. Issei. I had turned around only to see a dark brown-haired girl with logos between violet and gold. Issei. And why do you love me? Also, what is your name? Well, at least you're polite. I'm Susan Horikita. Issei. I'm Hyoudou. Issei. Susan, stop saying you're a Hyoudou, you're a Yoyorosa. Issei. I stopped being like that a long time ago. Besides, what do you want with me? Susan. What I want is what's inside you. Issei. I don't understand. Susan. You are the son of Seraphim. Issei. And what does it have to do with me? Susan, your mother was a project to develop better soldiers, increased speed and strength 10 times that of normal and advanced reflexes and most importantly, accelerated regeneration, and you are 80% compatible. Your sister was 20%, so it wouldn't work for me, but with you I can continue the research, but first I'll let you give her the best bidder. Issei, why do you want to sell me if you need me? Susan, well, let's say that a certain person put you in the auction by mistake. Looking at Danzo with hatred. Danzo, I already told you it was an accident, but I'll talk to the person who bought it so she can return it to you. Meanwhile, take it and do whatever you want. Susan asked to be taken to her laboratory where Issei only prayed for them to come and save him. A few kilometers away, Chisato could be seen with the binoculars, seeing that they had everything ready for the auction, in addition to seeing several vehicles where the buyers were. Issei, fence that is guarded. I think I already saw the submarine pointing to a place. Chisato saw the place where Yuvin took out the submarine. Rose, how is it possible that they stole that thing? Sarah, apparently they will use it to start a world war. Yuma's, also without mentioning that the nuclear codes will be saved last. Rose, why would they bring him here? Chisato, I don't know, but go to your positions, you know what to do. Rose, hi. Chisato, it will be Grafia. Go to your positions. Issei, Yuma, be the most secretive. I will look for Issei. Yuma, go to the old laboratory, it's probably there. Chisato, thanks and good luck. Afterwards the Cinco dispersed to each side. With Rose she climbed an old building to get a better view. Rose, let the game begin. Final, Part 2, with Yuma and Issei. They were behind the trees as they encountered more than 6 on the walls and 2 CTK vehicles. Issei, I didn't think they had a CTK. Yuma, that's bad. Issei, it is one of the vehicles from the VOPCZ factory. They are also difficult to obtain since they cost $500 million. Yuma's, I think it will be difficult. Issei, you take care of one and I'll take care of the other. Yuma's, and those on the wall. Issei, look up. Yuma turned around watching as 2 small planes cut through those above him, like they had cut one of his stomach. One of them had shot, but she had dodged it as if it were nothing and then cut his throat where she saw them with murderous intent. The 4 were going to attack, but out of nowhere a cold breeze had cut their throats. Sarah, presumptuous. Grafia, yeah, but at least let me have fun for a while. Sarah hadn't realized that the one who attacked first was going to stab her but would be killed by an arrow in his head. Rose, listen, instead of fighting over who killed who consented. Sarah, okay, sorry. Grafia, let's continue. She gave the signal to Issei to take charge of the 2 vehicles. Back with the duo, Issei gave the signal to Yuma, where he threw a grenade. When it detonated, it caught the attention of both vehicles, where they went to investigate. However, they didn't realize that Yuma and Issei got in the back. The vehicles split up. Yuma took out a flash grenade, which he removed the safety lock and placed in the driver's window, where he blinded everyone inside. They crashed into a tree. They got out of the car, some badly injured, others still blinded by the grenade. In front of them, Yuma was stabbing them. Yuma, nothing personal. She came from the Gatillo where the men fell dead. The sound was not heard because it had a silencer. Issei, you finished quickly. Yuma, apparently your father-in-law is the same. Issei, please don't call me that. Yuma, come on, don't be nervous. Issei, come on, let's take care of the rest. Afterwards, they had finished off 3 vehicles with 13 armed men, where they did it stealthily. In exchange, Sarah and Grafia murdered each man with stealth and precision, but Sarah was worried about her son. What could they be doing to him? Rose eliminated each of the men with precision and also sent drones to investigate, and found out that they had weapons. Rose, how boring, I hope you're coming. She saw a vehicle approaching but noticed it was at an angle where the vase couldn't see. She stopped an arrow where 7 more had appeared and had hit the vehicle. She hadn't noticed anything, but out of nowhere one came from behind. She shot an arrow at him but noticed another one was going to hit her with another arrow, but they were exhausted and started a fight. She hit him with her bow and stuck a knife in his head. It would be better to go help her there, and went down to go with the others. With Chisato, Aya was on the roofs going as stealthily as possible where she saw the old laboratory where she went straight towards it. She entered through the old window. She went through the corridors where she saw 4 guards, 2 in the corner, and others at the door. Chisato, well, I think I'll have some fun. In the lab minutes before, Issei was taken to the laboratory with Susan, who had him sitting on a chair and also had several cables connected to him. Issei, what are you going to do to me? Susan was on a computer watching Issei's body having different reactions, where she had a knife where she made a small cut on his arm where out of nowhere the wound began to close where it only left a scar. Susan, it seems your regeneration is a little advanced. I'll give you another test. Issei was in shock since the cut he made had closed as if nothing had happened, but he saw Susan, who apparently had her stoic expression. But he noticed that it was obvious that she wanted to jump out of joy, so Issei wanted to talk. Issei, hey Susan-san, can I ask you a question? Susan, and what is it without even looking at it? Issei, if you had this thing that I have, why do you sell it to traffickers instead of the military? She just stood still for a few minutes until she spoke. Susan, your mother was the first in the project. She was my greatest pride. We were friends, almost like sisters. But how much fame, her ego, her pride, she wanted to take credit for my research, so before I did, I escaped with her. I also knew that the superiors wanted me dead so they could keep my research and give it to other nations. Issei had a downcast look on his face. He never thought his mother would do something like that, and besides, his friend, whom she considered a sister, he didn't know what to do since he also experienced the same thing, although in a different way. Susan, you know, you and I are the same. We were left by the same woman because of her pride. She left you and me. Tell me why you gave her another chance. She will forget you later, just like she did with me. Issei, maybe you're right, but she's still my mother. Susan, you sound like the superior Chisato Hyoudou. Issei, you know Mom. Susan, she was the one who helped me escape, the only one I could count on. Thank you very much for the compliment, Suzu-chan. Susan and Issei turned around and saw a woman leaning against the wall. Susan/Issei, Chisato-san/Mama. Chisato, glad to see you again, Issei and Susan. Issei, Mom, are you? Chisato approached Issei to hug him and shed some tears. Issei, sorry, forgive me, I left you alone, sorry. Issei, Mom, sniff, I missed you, sniff a lot. But they would be interrupted since Susan was targeting Chisato. I'm glad to see you, Chisato-san, but you know I have to complete my investigation. Chisato, Susan, I have a proposal for you. In the warehouse. Silverstater, today we have in our power. The Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II is a 5th-generation, single-seat, stealth multi-role fighter aircraft developed under the Joint Strike Fighter program to replace the F-16, A-10, F/A-18 and AV-8B in ground attack, reconnaissance and air defense missions. 9-10. This aircraft was designed in 3 distinct versions. The F-35A conventional takeoff and landing, CTOL, variant. The F-35B short takeoff and vertical landing, STAVL, variant, and the F-35C, which is a naval carrier-capable variant. Silverstater, the offer starts at 100 million. 10 minutes later, auctioneer, sold for 356 million to a Russian buyer. The second item is a T-90 tank. The T-90 is a Russian combat vehicle, primarily used by the Russian ground forces, as well as by other countries, as it enjoys a high international reputation. India began manufacturing its own model, with Russian assistance, in the variant known as the T-90 Bhishma, during the 2006 to 2007 period. Auctioneer, we start at 100,000. 8 minutes later, Silverstater, sold for 350,000 to Italy. The third is Rosswuas Defense. The name Rosswuas Defense Solutions may not sound familiar to you, but it is a Canadian company dedicated, among other things, to the manufacture of armored vehicles, as is the case with this Rosswuas Senator ARV, Armored Rescue Vehicle, a beast designed to perform rescue tasks, tactical response or high-risk and SWAT-type operations. This ARV, available with 2 or 4 doors and even a rear hydraulic ramp, is used in North America primarily by SWAT and special response teams, according to the manufacturer, in situations involving hostiles or hostages, terrorist threats, or in emergencies following natural disasters, among other situations. The vehicle is designed to withstand all types of impacts, thanks to military-grade ballistic steel plates, 50-caliber bullet-resistant glass capable of withstanding multiple impacts, and a single-piece floor designed to withstand the shock wave of an explosion. Auctioneer bid starts at 400 million. 40 minutes, Silverstater, sold for 900 million to Canada. Let's move on to the car enthusiasts. I'll just put the price and who sold it to. The first 3 million to the US, the second 50 million to an Arave, the third 29 million to Rome, the fourth 300 million to Italy. Auctioneer, well, that would be all. Wait for the grand finale. Time for the ladies, please join me. All the women went to a separate room where the women sat. Kuriko Smith, Narumi, ignore the horns, Misuki, Siko, Narumi. I hope they don't damage my adorable new toy. Misuki, whoever said it's yours will be my property. Narumi, and you're a brat, and he'd prefer my body to yours. Smith, wow, They're really fighting over a simple toy. Siko, AAA, it's taken you a long time. Auctioneer, sorry for the delay, please take a seat to begin. Well, the beautiful women, and something is included. On a chair was Issei with a necklace and a chain, and he also had a briefcase in his hands. When the women saw him, they looked at him with lustful glances where Issei was nervous. Auctioneer, let the auction begin. Final. We see the brown-haired man next to the auctioneer, and the women were looking at him with a lustful look. The poor man was nervous because they were looking at him with lustful looks. Auctioneer, well, let's get started. Well, we offer you the child of the Yoyorozu family, in addition to offering you the briefcase of world codes. Who starts the bidding? Smith, I offer $10,000. Silverstater, I have 10,000. Someone gives 20,000. Narumi, I offer $21,000. Silverstater, I have 21,000. Someone gives 30,000. Masuki, I offer $35,000. Silverstater, I have 35,000. Does anyone give more? Siko, they offer $40,000. Narumi, $50,000. Siko, $59,000. Smith, yo $70,000. Masuki, $90,000. Smith, yo $100,000. Masuki, $300,000. Siko, $800,000. Narumi, $100 million. But out of nowhere a loud explosion was heard where the Devastator ran out. Inside, the four women stayed with Issei. Minutes outside you could see all the buyers drinking in front of the restaurant. But they didn't realize that on the roofs they found Yuma and Issei watching each other. Issei, apparently they haven't started the auction yet. Yuma, where is Issei? Issei, he must still be in the lab. Well, let's continue. Yuma's, what are we going to do with this C4? Issei, we're going to explode a couple of things. Grafia, everything will be taken off by there. Elsewhere he was Sarah and Grafia killing with the rest. It will be clear we're going there. Grafia, it's been a long time since I had fun like this, and you will be saying, Sarah, yes, but the more I kill, the more it reminds me of the mistake I made with my son. Grafia, Susan Horikita, right? Sarah, my pride and my ambitions made me lose two important people in my life. Grafia, will it be San? If you are really sorry, try not to make the same mistakes that your family did. You choose your life, and now we kill these bastards to save your son. I also made mistakes, and Issei made him see that as mothers that I was to him. I also know how you feel. Sarah was surprised by the words Grafia said. She regretted betraying her friend/sister just because she was the best. She just wanted to see her and ask for forgiveness. Sarah, let's go for my son together. Grafia, hi. They retreated with Rose. She was on the roofs of the guards where they patrolled every corner. She took a knife where she had stealthily cut his throat, and that was how she killed 8 people quickly until she saw one in the distance. On his left arm he had a vambrace that resembled a scythe, where a shot from a knife stuck in the back of his head, killing him instantly. Rose, deserted Arriva. Issei, understood. Everyone is ready. Yuma is on the tank in position. Grafia was on abandoned oil reserves in position. It was on the bottom of the submarine where he put C4 to detonate it ready. Chisato, do it. Everyone pressed the detonator where a strong explosion made everyone shudder, where out of nowhere the tank came out of the warehouse but would be surrounded by 4 CTK where they began to shoot at it, but they did almost nothing, so the tank aimed where a strong shot made 2 of the CTK explode, then aimed again where the result was the same where the guard was arriving, but Issei fell from above where they began to shoot at them. But 2 of them were using knives, so for Issei's amusement he took out 2 and started a fight between them. With Rose she was throwing knives since they discovered her, so she took care of some of them until they ran out, so from her sleeves she took out some gauntlets with small knives where she quickly killed each one with impressive agility. With Grafia she would take care of others with a kind of knife that she would throw at them, and sometimes she would fight some of them. With all her might she went to get her son where he was. She entered the warehouse where her son was, under the rubble. Sarah, Issei, are you okay? Issei, Mom, be careful. Out of nowhere he blocked someone's sword but didn't notice the kick he received. So many years of not seeing each other will be saying, Sarah, Susan Horikita. Susan, wow, Sada, you remind me of me. She was holding 2 strange-looking swords. Sarah, Susan, I know I hurt you, but please let me save my child. Susan, you'll have to kill me first. She left both sides and collided where they started an even fight. Something like that was it. Ignore the 2 accompanying Kurom and the monster, and ignore Bwady and Tasumi. Before both could deliver the final blow, someone stood between the 2, and that person was Issei, who saw a small opening in the rubble where he could get out of the rubble. He was centimeters away from hitting Issei, but he would be covered by flames where a strong explosion made the entire vase fall. In the news, last night in the abandoned city of Ko there was an insidious incident, but police report that a sort of robbery was taking place, where Danzo Shimura was arrested along with other traffickers who were in the robbery. It is unknown if there were more survivors, but no one knows about the summary of the United Kingdom. They say it sank due to the explosion, or they say some escaped. It is not known what happened. They also mention that they had kidnapped the son of the Yoyorosa family who disappeared 8 years ago. He was brought here, but it is unknown what he did since his body was not found. Not to mention that yesterday it was Yoyorosa who was accompanied by Rosswuas Hyoudou, who was Issei's legitimate guardian. They suffered an accident where both died. That's all for now. We'll be back after some progress. When the news reached the Yoyorosa family, in addition to Rias and Issei, they fell into depression since they had lost Issei, Rose and Grafia, and possibly Chisato and Issei. Momo was devastated because she lost her brother and her mother. That hurt her a lot, as well as her father, but they knew something that they keep secret from Issei and Sarah and the others. Issei couldn't stop crying since she would never be able to see her friend/boyfriend again, but after a while she moved on and is now a teacher at Ko Academy. Rias was devastated. She blamed herself for being like that with Issei. She wanted to have him by her side, but that wouldn't happen. But she continued with her life, where she is now the leader of her family. Yendi. 1 year later. In a forest you could see a big house. Inside there was a chestnut who was making dinner. It was none other than Chisato. In the Avarajo hour, where there was a pool table, there is a large chestnut tree. This was Issei. In another visit to the armory, a silver-haired woman and a black-haired woman meet. And, in one of the bedrooms there is a brunette, Nobody, and Susan, who was lying down with a smile and holding her phone with a photo. The other place will be in the shower. In the alcove there is a certain silver-haired girl sitting, and on her lap there is a certain brunette asleep. Rose, everything happened so fast, didn't it? Flashback a year ago. In the laboratory before everything started. Chisato, Suzu-chan, I have a proposal for you. Susan, a proposal that it is about. Chisato, if you help me make this whole place disappear, I'll give you a new chance to start a new life. Susan, and what makes you believe that I will accept? Continuing to point at him. Chisato, let's say there is a way for Issei's portfolio to rise to 100%. Your investigation would be more effective. Susan lowered the gun to see what the answer was. And what is that method? Chisat wiped herself to whisper to her. After a few seconds, Susan was red as could be. Susan, what is lie true? Hisato laughed at his friend's reaction. That's true. Now he has more agility and speed, so he regenerated it at 56%, and he got it with Issei. Susan was red and she tried to do her project with test subjects, but they failed for a long time, and now she has the answer. She looked at Issei where she knelt down to be at his height, and then she was shame had kissed Issei. He was in shock since the woman who had him tied up was kissing him, where the kiss became passionate, where they separated due to lack of air. Susan, Issei, you are mine now, she said with a deep smile. Chisato, if you're done raping my son's lips, we can discuss the plan. Susan nodded. Chisato proceeded to say the plan: when they go to auction Issei, we are going to blow up this whole place, and when the others are busy, you and it will be safe to kill her, but don't do it, Issei. Issei, yes sir. Chisato, if they do something, prevent these two from killing each other. Yes, Issei nodded with determination. After discussing the plan, they took Issei to the Savasta where Susan was storing her things so they could go to the point where Issei would be. Chisato, are you ready? Susan, and tell me who you put in the Savasta. Chisato, to some old friends who helped me a while ago. Change of scene in the Soul where Sarah and Susan were going to give the final blow. Issei intervened in Ava's where Ava's deflected their attacks, where they made a cut on their cheek. Sarah, I see these are good. Issei, yes, Oka-san, I almost didn't count it. Susan, Olgan, talk later, we can go. Sarah, because you help us. Susan, thank you to Chisato-san and especially to your son. Then the three went out where they saw Rose coming down from the roof, but when they saw Issei in a blur, she had Issei hugging her between her breasts. Rose, I see you're fine. Issei, yes, Ran-chan, but out of nowhere he saw that he had her pointed where out of nowhere a shot stunned everyone. Chisato, wow, I didn't think you'd still be here. Kuriko Smith, do you think I would leave my cute toy? Besides, you have to be careful. Out of nowhere a guy came out who was going to stab Susan, but someone got there first. Masuki, Lieutenant, I think he's losing his touch, but it was seen that Chisato had shot the guy behind Masuki. Chisato, you said something. Masuki, no, nothing. Chisato, and Narumi and Siko. Masuki, they are bringing him and the others. Grafia, sorry for the delay. Issei, Grafia, Oka-san. Issei went with Grafia where she hugged him affectionately. Grafia, I'm glad to see you, good Issei-kun. Issei and Yuma arrived where Yuma got jealous and pushed Grafia and had Issei in her arms. Yuma, Issei, are you okay? Issei, yes, Yuma-chan, I'm glad to see you. Chisato, if you're done, we can go. They all nodded and went to the shore where AT-90 was waiting for them, with Narumi driving and Siko on the wing. Everyone got into the vehicle, but before that they detonated more C4 all over the place so as not to leave any trace where they all went from there where they went to Tokyo where it was far from the city. End of flashback. Rose, we've been through a lot, Issei-kun. Issei, Rose-chan, why did we have to leave Japan? Rose, it's to be safe. Besides, you're not alone. You have me and Mom, Dad, and you, 2 mothers, and those 2, Susan and Yuma's, will always be together like we promised years ago. Issei, always together, one-chan. Rose, we'll be together, I see. They were both looking at the sky with a smile where they hugged each other with affection. Rose/Issei, always together.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.